Today we're talking about the building process.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to build, you got to build on something.
Right.
So how do you get your land, and what do you expect when you're getting land? So that's what I think we need to cover today. Hello, I'm Chad.
And I'm Grace.
And this is our dog Queen.
And together we are
Two gringos and a dingo. So we bought through a developer.
We did.
Which streamlined the process significantly.
Right.
Because he had a plan in place, and he had contacts in place, and so we were directed to a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
We knew the price going in.
Right.
And we pretty much knew what we were getting.
Right.
Other people have talked to us about what they've done coming here, and they
Right.
come in and they look for their land, and they have shared their stories with us. There needs to be a clear understanding that a lot of what we're talking to you about is what we've heard from people and what we've learned from people, not what we've experienced.
One of the things you got to think about before you even want to start looking for land in Belize is you need to come down to Belize. Don't buy off the internet. Don't buy off of pictures only. Visit the location. Belize is very diverse in the geography of the land, the vibe of the communities. So you need to know exactly where you want to live.
And it doesn't have the legal infrastructure that you might be used to, and so a lot of scammers come down.
There are.
And so we've heard horror stories about beautiful big developments where one lot sold 3 times
Right.
by the developer.
Right.
And people do eventually get in jail. They do eventually go bankrupt.
Right.
But they create a lot of havoc before they get there.
Right.
So if you don't take anything else away from this video, okay, before you buy, hire a Belizean lawyer.
True.
To help you through the process and to make sure you get clear title.
Very true. Another thing to think about is the realtors in Belize, they're not licensed like they are in the U.S. So anyone can really pretty much just become a realtor here. There's no particular requirements like there are in the United States. So buyer beware.
And there are some really good, qualified,
very good,
reputable realtors, and there's a bunch of people that just are trying to make a little side money.
Right. Same thing for developers. There's good developers, and then there's developers that are not so good. So again, you have to be here. You cannot do this from afar. I don't think you should choose a builder or choose a developer or choose where you want to live without seeing and talking to the people face to face.
We have a group of kayakers coming by.
We do have a group of kayakers coming by.
Speaking of getting good, clean title, don't expect to walk out of a closing and have your title the next week.
No.
We did ours through the mail, or email, basically.
Right. We had an attorney and a real estate company that worked with a developer that did all that legwork for us.
Yeah, and it was still 8 months before we had the certificate of title
Right.
in our possession, the original.
Right.
So it can take a long time. That doesn't mean you can't control the land. That doesn't mean you don't own it. It means that even though it's in the system, you don't have your proof of ownership in your hand.
Right.
In the way you might expect. That can affect you when you're going to immigration, because you have to show people where you're living.
Right.
and what you're doing. So
just be aware.
Keep in mind, there's going to be some delay in getting the original title to you.
So say you found your land, you like this piece of land, you've bought it, now there's no house on it, so you need to build. And before you can build, sometimes you've got to even improve the land, fill it or clear it or have utilities run to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different categories of land.
There
and
it is.
the pricing depends on which category it lands in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the Caribbean Sea,
Mm-hmm.
oceanfront property, that's of course a premium.
Absolutely.
If you're on the lagoon side and you're up against the water, that's probably the next step down.
Mm-hmm.
And then, water adjacent but not on the water
True.
is another step down, and you can expect the land prices to reflect those categories.
Right.
Uh,
And or if you want to be interior, jungle prices, or something that's in a community or outside of a community, all those factors go into pricing.
if you're coming down here for the sea, you're thinking about on the coast and on the peninsula, or and there's a lot of coast in Belize that's not on the peninsula.
Yes.
And then you're thinking about how close you can get to the ocean. But the reality is there's a lot of land for sale here, interior, and you can buy a lot of land for not a lot of money
Correct.
if you are not looking to be close to the ocean.
Right. Right. There's, you can buy something that's an off-grid system. You can, do that. Or you can be near a city or a town or a village that has water and electricity, and so you have your range.
So if you want to do a bullet point summary on this, get down here and look at your options.
Yep.
Okay. Decide what your lifestyle choices are going to be for land or sea.
Right.
Note that you need to shop around because there is no set price for anything.
No.
You will be getting expat prices. Just expect that. But even then, there's a wide range of what you can pay for things.
Right.
And use a lawyer.
Yeah.
And don't use a Texas lawyer that's retired.
No.
Use a Belizean
Yes.
lawyer that will make sure you've got title here, because if there's any real burn here, it's not getting clear title.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest issues that we have heard about. So, in our next episode, we're going to be talking about choosing a builder, how to find the right builder for you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.